Good morning, students. How are you doing? Very good. Very good response. Keep it up and learn daily. You have to spend at least 1 hour daily for your studies. Okay. Now I'm here to teach you science. What is the chapter? Chapter number 2. The name of the chapter is Plants Living Everywhere. And we have seen some parts of this chapter previously in the first part. Today we will learn the second part 2. Okay. Shall we start? Okay. First of all, we will see the contents. What are the things included in this chapter? Introduction, aquatic or water plants. There are three: free floating, fixed floating, and underwater plants. Then the second group is terrestrial or land plants, which have six types: common land plants, sea coast plants, hill plants, desert plants, parasitic plants, and insectivorous plants. Today I told you that we are having only second part. And what are the contents? What are remaining today? The second group of plants. That is the third topic of the chapter. There are two types of plants: aquatic and terrestrial. Today we will learn about terrestrial or land plants. I told you there are six types of land plants. The trees which are grown on land. There are six groups of land plants. Shall we start with the first one? Okay, which is that? The first one is common land. Okay, before that, I will give you some introduction about the land plants. All the plants growing on land are called terrestrial plants. Whatever plant we find on the land, they are known as terrestrial plants. Majority of plants grow on land. Many of the maximum number of the plants grow on the land only. In water, aquatic plants are very less in number, but terrestrial plants are very large in number. See the picture. There are varieties of plants seen in this picture. Flowering plant and non-flowering plant are seen. They all are in the land. On the land they are growing. They are known as terrestrial plants. Okay. Let us learn something more about the terrestrial plants. Largest living being on earth is a land plant. The largest living being on the earth. The largest living plant on the earth is not an aquatic one, it is a land one. It is the giant sequoia tree found in California, USA. What is the largest living being? The giant sequoia tree. And where is it found? California in USA. See the photo? This is what the giant sequoia tree. How tall it is, see? A man is standing, you can compare the tree and the height of the man and the height of the tree. It is the tallest one, the largest one also. Okay, moving ahead, we will learn about this tree now. Giant sequoia tree. It is 83 meters tall. What is the height of the tree? 83 meters. The diameter of its trunk is 24 meters. The diameter means it has that much 24-meter width also. A person cannot do. There are 5 or 6 person needed to round the or encircle the tree. 24 meters diameter and 83 meters tall. It is also known as the General Sherman. What is the other name of the giant sequoia tree? General Sherman. Okay. So shall we continue now? I told you it was just an introduction about the land plant. This is a photograph of the giant sequoia tree, okay, which is also known as General Sherman. A group of trees are there in this area in California in USA. Moving ahead to the different kinds of plants, terrestrial plants. There are six types of land plants or terrestrial plants. What are they? Common land plant, seacoast plant, hill plant, desert plant, parasitic plant, and insectivorous plant. These are the 6 types of terrestrial or land plants. Okay, see the photographs once more. The terrestrial plants or the land plants. Moving ahead to the first one. What is that? Common land plant. Plains support a large variety of plants, including the trees. In the plain area, you have learned about plain. Plain is the low land. We, not UP is a state, fall in the plain. These plains have variety of plants. Trees are also there. Trees are also there. They can bear hot summer and cold winter conditions. The plants which grow in this plain can bear, can survive, can live in both summers and winters. These trees have a large number of branches and well developed root system. What is the feature of this plant? They have a large number of branches. They have many branches and a well developed root system. They have a very good roots also which hold the tree in the soil. Let us continue now. People, mango, banyan, shisham, etc. are big trees. These are the big trees found on the plains. The big trees found here are people, mango, banyan, and let us see what are the other types of plants grown here. Sunflower, mustard, wheat and rice. They are also grown here as a small plant. Many other types of plants are grown in the plain region. Now have a look on the photos. Which are they? Sunflower, mango tree and banyan tree. They are the trees found, some of the trees found on the plain region as a common land. Okay, common tree. They are found on as a common land plant. Moving to the next type of plant, which is that seacoast plant. And let us see what are the features of the seacoast plant. Coconut, palm and pepper grow in hot and damp places like seacoast. The trees like coconut, palm and pepper, they grow in hot and damp places like the seacoast. The seacoast is hot and damp. Teak, rubber and sugarcane are also such plants. Okay, this teak, rubber, these are the examples of the plants which are grown in the seacoast. Mangrove plants like Rhizophora grow in swamps. So you got different kinds of seacoast plants now. You have to learn these examples. Now I will show you the photos. What is this tree? Do you know? These are rubber trees found in the seacoast plain plant. The next one is teak tree. These all are examples of seacoast plants. They can grow in the seacoast. Learning something more about the seacoast plant now. What are the other features? Have a look. The soil in swamps is clayey. In the seacoast area, the soil is clayey. It does not have air. This clay soil does not have air. So, but the trees need air. And how do they get it? The roots cannot breathe and they grow above the ground. When the soil doesn't have air, how do the tree get the air? The roots grow above the ground. See the picture. In this photo you can see that the roots of the tree are growing above the ground. In this way they get the air from the breathing air, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. You know that trees breathe carbon dioxide. Yes, they breathe in carbon dioxide and they breathe out oxygen which we breathe in. So you have understood about the mangrove trees also. This is the mangrove tree. Okay. Learned about seacoast plants. Now moving to the next third category, tea plants. Tea plants are grown as a hill plant. It means we are going to the hill plants now. What are the features of hill plants? Have a look here. Tea plants are grown on hill slopes because they need plenty of rains. Tea plants are grown on hill slopes. On the slopes of the hills, tea plants are grown. Why? Because they need plenty of rain. A lot of rainfall, good amount of rainfall is needed for the tea plant. They do not bear standing water near the roots. If the water is standing, if the water doesn't flow, then they cannot grow. In our area it cannot grow because if heavy rainfall is there, the water will be standing here in the area, in the plain area, but in the hilly area the plants will get lot of water and the water will flow down. So the trees like tea plant, it is not a tree, it is a plant. It can grow in the hilly region. In India, tea plants are grown in hilly regions of Assam and Darjeeling. Where are tea plants grown in the country? Assam, Darjeeling. And we can see some tea gardens, tea plants in the states of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The area, the hill which joins these three states, which is called as Nilgiri Hills. In that hill also we can see tea plants. I'll show you now the tea garden. This is a photograph of a tea garden. Tea plants are shown here and it is in a hilly area. Okay, moving ahead now to learn about other types of hill plants. What are the other types of hill plants you see? Other common plants in hills are conifers or pines. What are the other common plants in hills? Conifers, pines. They have needle-like leaves. What are the features of these conifers and pines? Their leaves are like a needle. And this is the photograph. This is a hill plant. Okay. See, their leaves are different from the leaves of the trees in the plains. Moving to learn more about these hill plants. What are the other features? They have cones instead of flowers. They don't have any flower, but they have cone. And seeds develop in these cones. They have cones in place of flowers, and they develop their seeds in the cones only. They can bear the cold and heavy rains of the hills. In the hilly area, there is very high amount of cold. It is very extreme cold there. They can survive in this cold regions also. Some understood? Okay, see some more photos. This is a hilly area, mountain region, and these types of trees are grown here. We will learn more about the hill plants. What are others? Kedar, fir, and pine are such trees. We have seen conifers. Okay, conifer trees examples: Kedar, fir, pine, etc. Then next example is spruce tree. Spruce tree has straight trunk and hard branches. It is used as a Christmas tree. Spruce tree has a straight trunk. Its stem is straight and hard branches also. So it is used as the Christmas tree for decoration during the Christmas time. Trees of fruits like walnut and almond also grow on hills. These fruit trees also can grow on the hills. For example, these are the trees which are found on hills. These all are hill plants. Have you understood? Firs are there, spruce trees can be seen, fir trees can be seen. These different kinds of trees are grown in hilly area. Kedar tree is also there. Okay, so shall we move ahead now? We are moving to the next kind of plant. What is that? Desert plant. Okay, let us see now what are the features of desert plant. There is always scarcity of water in a desert. What is the problem in a desert? Scarcity of water. What does it mean? They don't have enough water. So, therefore, the plants do not bear leaves. When there is no water in that area, the plants adapt themselves. How do the plants adapt? They don't have they don't have leaves. So I told you in the first part, transpiration means the leaves give out water through the stomata. But when there is no stomata, when there is no leaf, the water will be safe inside the plant. Okay, see the photo. This is a photograph of a cactus plant, and this doesn't have any leaf. Shall I tell you more about the desert plant? Okay, see. Green fleshy stem prepares and stores food for the plant. Its stem is green and fleshy, and that fleshy stem carries water, and it prepares food for the plant, and it stores food for the plant. Stem is the main part of the desert plants. Okay, cactus and prickly pear are examples of desert plants. What are examples of desert plants? Cactus and prickly pear. Shall I show you a picture? Okay, this is what a desert plant. Okay, prickly pear. These see, you can see there is no leaf, but the stem is green and fleshy. You can see by this photo, it is fleshy, and this stem prepares and stores food for the plant, and it can survive in the desert where there is very less amount of rainfall. Okay, we are moving to the next kind of plant. What is that? It is parasitic plants. What are the features? Plants like mushrooms and molds do not have the green pigment chlorophyll. You have heard that all the green plants have a substance with them. What is that? Chlorophyll. But these mushrooms and molds do not have chlorophyll. Okay, see the examples. These are the parasitic plants, dodder and mushrooms. Okay, they don't have green. See, they don't have green pigment. Chlorophyll is not found there in these plants, which means that they cannot make their own food. Yes or no? Yes. Shall I will continue now more about the parasitic plant. They cannot prepare their own food. I told you they don't have chlorophyll, so they cannot prepare their own food. They absorb food from other plants or decaying matter. Then, how do they get food? They get food by absorbing from other plants. They absorb food made by the other plants, or they get food from the decaying matter. Okay, and these types of plants are called as parasitic plants. The plants do not have chlorophyll and they depend upon the other plants for their food, are called as parasitic plants. Shall I show you some more examples? Yes, they are here. This mold and parasitic plant. This flower you can see. Have you seen this picture before? This flower has a feature. Do you know what is that? Yes, it is the largest flower in the world. What is that? Rafflesia. And this Rafflesia is a parasitic plant. Okay. Shall we move ahead now? Okay, to the last type of plant. What is that? That is insectivorous plant. The last type of plant is insectivorous plant. What are the features? Have a look here. These plants trap and eat smaller animals like insects that visit them occasionally. Insectivorous plants trap and eat smaller animals like insects. These plants trap the animals and eat them. Okay. Every leaf of Venus flytrap has two folding halves. Venus flytrap is the name of a plant and it is an insectivorous plant. This plant has two folding halves. I'll show you the picture. And this, when an insect sits on it, the two halves fold, press and absorb. See the picture, then you will understand it. You can see that this leaf of Venus has two folded halves. See, and this you can see red color on the top, no, for two foldings you can see, and that fold is opened always. But whenever an insect sits in it, the comes here and that sits, that insect will go inside, then automatically the folds will be closed, it will be folded and it will press, so insect dies and the plant absorbs the insect. That is why this plant is called as an insectivorous plant. Shall I tell you more about some more in insectivorous plants? Okay, I'll show you one more example. Leaf ends of a pitcher plant are shaped like pitcher and its lid. Next example of an insectivorous plant is pitcher plant. The leaf of the pitcher plant is shaped like pitcher and its lid. When an insect goes inside it, the lid closes. See the picture, you can see just like a jug it is, no, and it has a cover also. When an insect goes inside the cover, the lid automatically closes and the plant absorbs the insect. This is what a pitcher plant. This is also an example of an insectivorous plant. Okay, so you have learned a lot about the chapter, the different kinds of plants. We have come to the end of the chapter. We are going to have a revision. Okay, have a look here. What are the topics we learned here? Have a look. What did we learn in this chapter? What are the topics? Aquatic or water plants. How many types are there? 3 types. What are they? Free floating plants, fixed floating plants, underwater plants. The 3 types of aquatic plants. Then what is the next group of plants? Terrestrial or land plants. And what are the different kinds of terrestrial plants? Common land plants, sea coast plants, hill plants, desert plants, and parasitic plants, and insectivorous plants. These are the 6 kinds of terrestrial or land plants. This was a lesson about. You have understood everything? If you have any doubt, what should you do? You should move again to the video. Watch the video once or twice, then you will get the idea very clearly. Okay, so shall we wind up now? Good. It is a time to wind up, and always, as usual, you will stay home so that you can be safe and take care of yourself. Bye.